So the first thing you need to memorize is something called the order of sharps, which is F, C, G, D, A, E, and B. So you just need to memorize that however you want to. Just say it over and over again, FCGDAEB, FCGDAEB, until you get it in your head. Now if you know the order of sharps, then you also know the order of flats, because the order of flats is just the order of sharps backwards. So let's write out the order of flats. As you can see with the order of flats, we have the word bead at the front, B-E-A-D, and then G-C-F. And as I said, it's just the order of sharps backwards. So if you know the order of sharps, you also know the order of flats. Now to draw the actual circle of fourths and fifths, we're going to draw a big circle and we're going to label it with tick marks like a clock. So if I were to draw a big circle, I'm going to do my 12 o'clock, right? My 6 o'clock, my 3 o'clock, and my 9 o'clock. And then I'm going to have my 1 o'clock and my 2 o'clock, my 4 o'clock and my 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 11 o'clock. So just like a clock, we've got our 12 tick marks. Now I'm going to fill in to the circle the order of sharps first. And the first note is an F in the order of sharps. And you might think that we're going to put that F right there, but actually we're going to start it one over to the left. So we're going to put the F right here. Now that's because we want our C to be right at the top, right here. Because C is our key with no sharps and no flats. And so we want it to be at the very top position. So F, C, and now I'm just going to keep filling in the order of sharps around. So F, C, G, D, A, E, and B. Just like that. Now I'm going to fill in the order of flats going this way. So remember I said it's just the order of sharps backwards, so I'm going to start with the very last one, which was B. This is the first note in our order of flats. And I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to write B flat, because these are going to be all flatted. B flat, then E flat, then A flat, then D flat, then G flat, and then we could keep going and write C flat, which is also the same as B. B is the same note as C flat, and we're good there. Now, what's another name for G flat? Another note that's the same as G flat. It's F sharp, right? Because F sharp and G flat are the same note, so we could write G flat slash F sharp. And then there's another note that D flat could be as well, that's a sharp. What is the sharp note that D flat could also be? A C sharp. So we have D flat or C sharp. So the cool thing is, as long as you have that order of sharps memorized, you really can recreate this circle by memory. Now, the circle isn't very useful unless we know what to do with it. So let's talk about some of the cool things that go on within the circle. So for one thing, when we move clockwise, we're moving up in fifths. So what I mean by that is G is the fifth degree of C. So let's think about our key of C major. C, D, E, F, G. G is the fifth degree in the key of C. Therefore, the fifth of C is G. Now, what is the fifth of G? Well, let's think about the key of G major. G, A, B, C, D. D is the fifth degree of G major. So there we go. And lo and behold, it's the next note in the circle. And guess what? A is the fifth degree of D. E is the fifth degree of A. And you could go around a whole circle like that. B flat is the fifth degree of E flat. F is the fifth degree of B flat. C is the fifth degree of F, so forth. So we're always going to be moving in fifths in that direction. Now if we go the opposite way, we're moving in fourths. So check it out. What is the fourth degree of C? C, D, E, F. F is the fourth degree of C, so boom. Now what's the fourth degree of F? B flat. The 4th degree B flat, E flat. So if we move this direction, we move in fourths. Now, this circle also tells us our key signatures and how many sharps and flats are in each key, which is important to know. So, as I said, our key of C major has 0 sharps and 0 flats. So that's cool, nice and easy. Now, the key of G has 1 sharp. The key of D major has 2 sharps. Key of A has 3 sharps. Guess how many the key of E has? 4 sharps. How about the key of B? 5 sharps. The key of F sharp has 6 sharps. The key of C sharp has 7 sharps. Now, we have the same thing happening to the left, except with our flatted keys. So the key of F has 1 flat. The key of B flat has 2 flats. The key of E flat has 3 flats. The key of A flat has 4 flats. The key of D flat has 5 flats. The key of G flat has 6 flats. The key of C flat has 7 flats. Now with these keys down here where we've got two notes, obviously the sharps go with the sharp key and the flats go with the flat key. So what I mean by that is the key of F sharp has 6 sharps. The key of G flat has 6 flats. This key of C sharp has 7 sharps because they're both sharps, right? The key of D flat has 5 flats because they're both flats. So keep the flats with the flats and the sharps with the sharps. So the key of C flat has 7 flats and the key of B has 5 sharps. Now it's all fine and dandy to know that the key of A major has 3 sharps, but if we don't actually know which 3 notes are sharped in that key, we can't do too much with it. However, we can easily know what those notes are if we go back to our good friend, the order of sharps and the order of flats. So let me show you. We have the key of C, we have no sharps and no flats, so that one's nice and easy. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, right? What about the key of G? Well, we know we have 1 sharp, but what is that sharp? So we're going to go to our order of sharps, and it's just going to be the very first note in the order of sharps. So in the key of G, what's the first note in the order of sharps? It's an F, right? So the 1 sharp in the key of G is going to be an F. So I have G, A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp. Just like that. Now, the key of D, we have 2 sharps. What are those 2 sharps? Well, we're going to go back to the order of sharps, and it's just going to be the first 2 notes in the order of sharps. So F and C. So those are our 2 sharps in the key of D, our F and C. So let's write out our D major scale. D, E, F sharp, right? G, A, B, and C sharp. There we go, 2 sharps, F and C. Now, the key of A major, we have 3 sharps. What do you think those 3 sharps are? Well, we're going to go back to our order of sharps, and it's just going to be the first 3 notes in the order of sharps, F, C, and G. So, A, B, C sharp, right, because that's one of them, D, E, F sharp, because that's another one, and G sharp. So we just keep adding on a new sharp each time we go down. And if you notice, the new note that always gets added is that 7th degree. So that G is, in A major, that last note of G is our new sharp. And this one, C was the new sharp. This one, F was the new sharp. It's always the last note is the new sharp in the key. So now let's look at E major. So it has 4 sharps in it. What do you think those 4 sharps are? Go back to your order of sharps, F, C, G, and D. Just the first 4 notes in the order of sharps. So we have E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, and D sharp. Just like that. Now, we have the key of B major now. We have 5 sharps in the key of B major. So what do you think those 5 notes are? It's going to be the first 5 notes in the order of sharps, F, C, G, D, and A. So we have B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A sharp. Just like that. Now we can keep going to the key of F sharp. Key of F sharp. We have 6 sharps now, so it's going to be the first 6 notes in the order of sharps, F, C, G, D, A, and E are all going to be sharped. So we have F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, and E sharp. So this one, they're all sharped except for B in the key of F sharp. Then our last sharp key is the key of C sharp, which has 7 sharps. And this one is actually sort of easy because everything is sharped. So you just can write out like a C major scale and put a sharp next to everything. So C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and B sharp. 7 sharps. So those are our sharps. Now let's look at the flats. Now let's look at our flat keys. So we're going to start with the key of F major. Now F major has 1 flat, we know. But what is that flat? Well, now instead of looking at the order of sharps, we're going to look at the order of flats. So what's the very first note in the order of flats? B. So that's going to be that 1 flat is going to be a B flat. So let's write out our F major scale. So we have F, G, A, B flat, right? C, D, and E. 1 flat, and it's that B flat. Now let's look at the key of B flat. So we have 2 flats. So we're going to look at the first 2 notes in the order of flats. So we have a B flat and an E flat. Pretty easy. B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, and A. That's our B flat major scale. Now let's look at that E flat major scale. So we have 3 flats in the key of E flat. Now what would those 3 flats be? Well, go back to the order of flats, B, E, and A. Those are going to be our 3 flats. So we're starting on E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, and D. Just like that. Now let's move on to the key of A flat. So the key of A flat has 4 flats. So the 4 flats in the key of A flat are going to be, you guessed it, the first 4 notes in our order of flats. So B, E, A, and D. So we have A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, and G. Just like that. Now the key of D flat has 5 flats. So we're going to have B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. Those will be our 5 flatted notes, the first 5 notes in the order of flats. So we're starting on D flat, then E flat, then F, then G flat, then A flat, then B flat, then C. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 flats, and they are the first 5 flats in our order of flats. Now let's move on to the key of G flat. We have 6 flats now. So what are our 6 flats going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All these notes will be flatted, so all those except for F. So we start with a G flat, right? Then A flat, then B flat, then C flat, then D flat, then E flat, then F. So basically they're all flatted except for F. Now we'll move on to our last flat key, which is C flat, where we have 7 flats. So this one is also pretty easy because they're all flatted. So we have C flat, D flat, E flat, F flat, G flat, A flat, and B flat. Pretty simple. So hopefully you are able to now create your own circle of fourths and fifths, and I really recommend you quizzing yourself, trying to draw the circle on pieces of paper, do your tick marks like a clock, and try to fill in the circle like the notes FCGDAEB, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, you know, and so forth. And just try to recreate the circle and make sure that you can do it by memory. I think once you do that, you'll be able to start visualizing it in your head more easily as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you liked it, please don't forget to give a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Have a good one.